What's going on, guys? Yesterday was COD Next, and today I'm gonna upload a video about, just a little rant of me talking about COD Next, my opinions on COD and Black Ops 6 in general. Well, let's start off with zombies. Yesterday, they revealed our first gameplay of Liberty Falls, the second map in addition to Terminus for Black Ops 6 Zombies. I think, while it being an absolutely beautiful map, there has been some controversy regarding how bland and soulless the map feels, which, I gotta say, it did feel kinda soulless. It, it has a personality, but not much of one. A lot of people were saying it just felt like an Outbreak map, and I gotta say, it kinda did. A lot of the Outbreak maps were beautiful, and were absolutely, and were fun, I mean, given the time. I've played a fair bit of Outbreak, but I've always preferred round-based. And I never really quite understood the push to Outbreak for Outbreak. I don't know why everybody seems to be complaining about it now, so I think it's best for Treyarch to just go in the direction of round-based, which is what they seem to be doing. For the most part, I like the map, I like the theme of the map, but I also think a large source of the disappointment for Liberty Falls seems to be the way that it was hyped. The maps was had tons of hype behind it. I mean, if you just take a look at that cinematic trailer with Rick Coffin getting the Wonderwaff, going down the stairs, killing zombies, and then Samantha Maxis coming out. It was absolutely a wonderful trailer, and I had high hopes. Honestly, I haven't been looking too much into the whole marketing campaign from it, but from what it looked like to me, it seemed to be some kind of new take on Transit. Maybe I was hoping that it'd be a new take on Transit. Transit was an absolute awful map. I mean, they had tons of constraints they had to work with, though. And I think everyone's been waiting for, a remake of Transit, giving Transit a second chance now that we have much more powerful processors and the opportunity to give it the iteration it deserves. But I think Liberty Falls is definitely not the same. It's definitely not the map that I was expecting it to be. Although, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. I think it's supposed to be a small map, a small bonus map, more like the Giant or even Nuketown, which is why I'm on the BO3 rendition of this game. When it comes to the two launch maps for BO6, you have stuff like, you have both Liberty Falls and Terminus. I'm not a big fan of Terminus, I just don't like the swamp vibe. It reminds me too much of Shangri-La and Zetsuba no Shima, which are my least favorite maps. I absolutely hate those two maps, and I think I've played Transit, and I've had a whole lot more fun on Transit than those two maps combined. Absolutely terrible maps. The only saving grace, I mean, Zetsuba no Shima is, in my opinion, much better than Shangri-La. Shangri-La is definitely the worst zombies map in history. In the history of COD Zombies. I find the map to be absolutely unplayable. But going back to Black Ops 6, Terminus, it just has that vibe. So I'm giving it a chance. I'm not gonna, judge it too fast. I saw the gameplay trailer. It looked very interesting, and I definitely did like it. I like the fact that it's supposed to be like the more traditional zombies map with a returning crew. That's another thing about Liberty Falls. The fact that it doesn't have a set crew, I think also adds to the view that it's just like a soulless zombies map. I mean, you have a lot of the Cold War maps. I mean, of course they don't have a set crew, and that's... I think Treyarch could have experimented with that for like a year. But they definitely should not do that anymore. I definitely don't think it's the way to go about things. Having a set crew is just kind of like what we expect with zombies at this point. And I think trying to introduce new characters and implement them into the story is fun. I mean, just take a look at Raptor 1. Raptor 1 was just a random helicopter guy who you exfil with, then he becomes a beloved character and integral to the story. So, I feel like, I mean, of course you have, like, stuff like Marauder Toten. Marauder Toten's probably, it was definitely my favorite map from the Cold War era. But I think it could have, if it had a set, like a set beloved cast that we got to know throughout the year, I think Marauder Toten could have been a really good map. I mean, just think about Marauder Toten, but with, like, the OG Ultimus or Primus crew. I feel like the Victus crew is a little stale. I feel like they're just a little too... I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like they just don't have it, you know? But going back to the, you know, Black Ops 6 as a whole, I'm gonna start talking about the multiplayer. Multiplayer, I think the multiplayer looks good. I'm excited about Omni Movement. I think Omni Movement looks great. I'm not sure if they're bringing back slide canceling. They definitely should. Everyone saw how people reacted to them removing slide canceling in MW2, and how everyone loved the fact that they brought slide canceling back in MW3, so they definitely need to bring slide canceling back if they didn't. I'm gonna be a little upset. I'm a bit of a movement demon. I mean, I'm not good, but I like slide canceling. It's just fun. It's just something to it's like a fidget spinner from like 2016. It's not like the coolest thing, but it's like something to like play with in your hands, so that you're actually doing stuff. And then it actually does also look very nice for viewers as well. I mean, I've definitely watched a whole lot more videos of Vanguard and MW 2019 than MW2. And I think... What was that? That was absolutely insane. Alright, we're back. I just got downed, and, that was kind of embarrassing. But back to the, you know, main topic at hand. Black Ops 6 multiplayer. I think the guns look great for multiplayer. I think Omni Movement looks amazing. I think we're gonna have a really decent year of content. I think this last year of MW3 has been pretty good. I think MW3 is everything I think the community wanted. But the fact that it just feels kind of soulless. I know that's kind of been a word I've used repetitively here, but it just doesn't feel as... It doesn't have that personality like MW 2019 or Cold War did. Even MW2 had a bit of a personality. Vanguard. I think Vanguard was a highly underrated game. I think it was the second year of MW 2019 everyone had wanted. Mechanically, I think that 2019... Or I think the going to the World War II, doing a World War II theme was just a bad idea in general. But I think Black Ops 6 has the perfect opportunity. I really like how they're going with like a Black Ops 2 nostalgia kind of theme, especially with the menus. I think they're doing a really excellent job with the whole branding of everything. Everything really, like, I'm really excited for multiplayer this year. I think multiplayer is going to be really good. And if it isn't, well, that's going to suck for us. In addition to, you know, COD isn't just zombies and multiplayer anymore. You have Warzone now. I'm a big fan of Warzone. I've been playing Warzone since Verdansk, and I will say Verdansk coming back is... I hate that. I think Verdansk was a terrible map. Probably the worst map. I know you guys are gonna scream. I know that everyone who's played Warzone during 2020 is gonna be like, Verdansk was the best map ever. It wasn't it for me. I don't think it was that fun of a map. Everyone was just camping in buildings, and if you weren't camping in a building, you'd get sniped with it from halfway across the map. You get sniped halfway across the map. And it's just... it just was not a fun experience. Caldera, Caldera was a much more aggressive experience. It was a lot more... It was a lot more fast-paced. You actually saw people rather than getting sniped and never being able to even fight back. When I was playing Caldera, I definitely played a whole lot more Caldera than I did Verdansk, and that's a bit weird for me to say, like, because I even know Caldera wasn't the best map.
Add another to the pile.
But I had tons of third parties, and I was third partying all the time on that map.
Deadly.
I mean, I guess that was just kind of like... I'm not sure if it was how the map flowed, or how I started playing that made it, or if I changed my playstyle that made a difference. But Caldera was a much more fun map, even though it was a lot more chaotic. Rebirth Island, I had a lot of fun. I was playing Rebirth Island day one. I was always wanting there to be a more aggressive, less campy Warzone map. And Rebirth Island was a really good map. I think it was solid. But my favorite map of all time was Fortune's Keep by far. OG Fortune's Keep was great. Like, it was a beautiful map. The layout, the way that the games progressed was just an absolutely... It was a masterpiece. I think Fortune's Keep was peak Warzone. I mean, like, others aside from gunplay, the Vanguard guns, I think they could... If you had, like, the OG MW 2019 guns...
Damn, I'm good.
With Fortune's Keep, I think it would have been the best Battle Royale of all time, like, peaking Fortnite. But that's just my opinion. That's probably not true at all. I will say that I'm really not excited for Verdansk to come back. It is what it is. The new map, I think they're having, what, Area 99? I think that's going to be another map. I'm not sure if it's a small map or a big map. And then I think they're also making another map called Avalon, I think. I think those two maps will have promise, but I will not be playing Verdansk. I'll try Verdansk. Like I said, I'm not gonna instantly hate on a map. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see how the new guns act with it, because what? Bullet velocity drops massively with the new games. And you see, like, range in general is just a whole lot lower. And recoil is completely different. Recoil is much more harsh than it used to be. I think we're looking at generally a really good year of Black Ops 6, or of Call of Duty content in general. I'm just hoping at some point they decide to remaster 5. 5 is one of my favorite zombies maps. I just want them to do it justice. I think Classified was good, but the BO4 engine just didn't do it justice. I know they're not going to, and I know they still have yet to remaster the Zombies Chronicle 2 maps, you know, or not the Zombies Chronicle 2 maps, but the Victus maps. You have, still need to remaster Transit, Die Rise, Buried. And when you look at those maps, they were all... they all had their problems. that could easily be fixed and could all make them incredibly good maps. Die Rise needed PhD Flopper. PhD Flopper would have made Die Rise a much more playable map. I've never played Die Rise other than a few times at my friend's house. I've never owned Die Rise. I played Buried. Buried's incredibly fun. So fun because it's just what it's just what zombies should be. You're overpowered and you're killing zombies. There's not much else to it. They finally added back PhD Flopper, which everyone had been asking for years. And it was just a really well-designed map. It was small, there wasn't much to it, but it had tons of personality. It was just a fun experience if you were playing with the boys. Vulture's aid was an amazing perk. I loved it. And so we're looking at a Black Ops experience that I think can be better than Cold War. I think Cold War was, you know, average. It wasn't the greatest. The multiplayer, I wasn't happy with the multiplayer because I was still a huge fan of Modern Warfare 2019. And anything that wasn't Modern Warfare 2019, I wasn't going to play. Although I was also a big fan of zombies, which was the big reason why I have so many hours on Cold War to begin with. I'm just gonna say, here's to hoping that they, you know, make the right decisions this year. You know, that they do the good things for zombies, Warzone, multiplayer. And what do you guys think? Make sure to like, subscribe if you're new, and comment below. What do you guys think about the whole Black Ops 6 things? Especially the Liberty Falls. I mostly wanted to talk about the entire, like, Liberty Falls situation with everybody hating it, but then kind of turned it into a Black Ops 6 rant in general because, you know, I kind of want to talk about it. But what do you guys think? Comment below, and I'll see you next time.